Nobody knows who did it, and nobody knows why it happened. Hello, true crimerers. This is the case of Ann Saephan. Viewer discretion is advised. When this case occurred, Ann was just 16 years old, and she lived in Anchorage, Alaska. She was born in January of 1987, and she was actually born in Portland, Oregon. Ann was someone who just loved being around her friends. Her friends meant everything to her. She was very popular and well-liked. She was someone who would drop anything she was doing, and she would help a friend if they were in need. She loved singing, she loved dancing, she loved writing, she loved being creative. She just had a very warm and very open heart and always put others before herself. And she also had several siblings. It was the evening of November 8th, 2003. This building here, which I think is a bank now, used to be called the Space Station Video Arcade. And on that night, that's where Ann and her friends were at. A little after 9 p.m., Ann gets into the passenger seat of her friend's car, and they were leaving to head back home. And they were in a red Honda. As they were leaving, a car behind them starts firing gunshots towards their car. A bullet did come into contact with a 14-year-old person who was also in the same car as Ann. He was in the back seat. He would end up being okay. However, Ann was shot in her head. The driver of the Honda, the car that Ann was in, they sped away and went to go get help. And unfortunately, Ann did not survive. The 16-year-old was dead. And this was something that just devastated this entire community, but especially her friends and family. This was a senseless tragedy. A 16-year-old kid with a very bright future ahead of her, just gone, suddenly, forever. And unfortunately, this case has just baffled police. It's not solved. And one of the biggest reasons why is because this area that they were at was a really popular hangout spot. It was a very busy night. There were all sorts of cars driving in and out. The arcade itself was loud. There was a bowling alley where people were bowling, and the sounds of bowling can be pretty loud. And so nobody really heard much of anything. And because of how chaotic it all was, no one saw anything. I don't even think they have a description of the car in question that shot towards them. And I mean, really, no one really saw where the gunshots came from. And because of that, because of how hectic everything was, how suddenly it happened, they've gotten nowhere. This 16-year-old child just killed for no reason. Nobody knows why, nobody knows who did it, but somebody somewhere out there has got to know the truth, and perhaps that someone is you. This happened over 20 years ago. If you know who did it and maybe were afraid for many years, well, maybe you're no longer in that crowd, and you can help solve this case. You can report information anonymously. You don't have to say who you are, you just have to say what you know. If you have any information on the murder of 16-year-old Ann Saephan, and if you're in Anchorage, Alaska, you can call 561-STOP. You can also report a tip on this website here, AnchorageCrimeStoppers.com.